Hello guys, in this video we will be learning about methods and their use cases. By learning methods, we will be able to make our application's code clean, easy to read and maintain. So in short, a method is a code block that contains a series of instructions for the computer to execute. You might think that it sounds like functions, and you would be correct. In C#, functions are methods because C# is an object-oriented programming language, and functions that are contained by a class are called methods. On the screen, you can see a hello name method example. To declare a method, we first need to add an accessibility modifier such as public, private, or protected to know what level of privacy this method should have. Next, we need to add the return type so we would know what this method will return after we call it in other places. Then we need to give it a descriptive name which would self-describe what this method will be doing. After that, we add inputs for the method. When we are declaring and describing the method, they are called parameters. When we are calling the method and putting values to these parameters, we call them arguments. Parameters are declared by specifying their type and then giving them a descriptive name. Keep in mind that best practices suggest you to add up to 4 parameters. Later on in the tutorial, I will show you how to work with classes and how you can swap 4 input parameters to just one class parameter. If we want to make a parameter optional, we can assign a value for the optional parameter. When we want the method to be able to set a value to an argument that we provide, we need to use keyword out. When we will learn object-oriented programming, I will walk you through in depth about the reasoning why this works this way. For now, just remember, when you add a parameter without keyword out, we can only read and get the value of the argument. When we use the keyword out near a parameter, we can set the value of the argument inside the method. In our example, we're setting current score value to total score. This will set total score value out of this method scope. After adding the parameters, we can open curly brackets and write the body of our method, which will include all the instructions computer should do when this method is called. In our case, we say, hello DeveloperJourney, your current total score is 50, and then we return total score. Remember, when you declare a type which should be returned by that method, the method is required to return that specific type. Like in our case, it was stats_text, which is a string. With that out of the way, we can begin the tutorial. Alright guys, so the first thing that I want to show you is how we can obtain the latest code for any of the assignments or just the latest code all in all. If you were following through the whole series from the beginning, you might not need this, but if something happens to your code or let's say your hard drive changes, you will be able to follow up from any of the videos. So to do that, you just go to YouTube, you type in my username, go to my channel. I've added a bit.ly link to my GitHub through all the series. Basically, in this series, we can find in any of the videos a bit.ly link. I'll show you which one. So yeah, link to GitHub repo. You just click this link. It will send you to my GitHub repository. In here we can find the latest code. This original branch basically is the oldest branch that we can find. I think it was first initialized and pushed when we finished control flow homework. So if you want to follow up from there, you can just take this code. If you want the latest code, you click master branch, you click this button code. It will provide you with a link which you can copy, and when you open Visual Studio, if you're using Visual Studio, you can just clone this repository. Just open up Visual Studio, press clone a repository, uh, paste in the code, the provided URL, click clone. It will start cloning it for you. If for some reason you're not using Visual Studio, let's say you're using a Mac or Linux and you prefer using Git Bash, you can just go inside your browser, type in Git, click on the first link. In here you can click download, press the operating system that you're using right now and install it. When you'll finish installing it, you can just write in git and you'll have a Git Bash console. In here, you will need to use clone command with this link, and it should provide you with the latest code. It really depends where you're currently at, but you can just cd in, cd out of different locations, and maybe even create a folder that is called source repos or something like that, and store all the information in there. So now that we have the code, oh, by the way, if you're not sure how to use the commands, you can Google this out. Just write git clone. Probably the second link will be the one that you need. Go down to cloning an existing repository. This is the command that you will need to use in your Git Bash. Yep, and now that we're done with that, we can come back to our source code. In here, we have a big mess of a code. What we can do right now and what I will be teaching you are methods. Methods make the code very easy to reuse, and it makes it very readable and very clear. So uh, at first I will present you how we can make, let's say, this blob of text. It's a logo. This logo go to a method, and we would be able to call one method which would print everything out here without the requirement of us to see this whole text. So to declare a method, what you need to do is go down, uh, like you can see your main method. This is the primary method that is being called by program whenever we click debug button, like I've mentioned. But if you just click this minus button, you would be able to reduce the code to this one line, and you need to specify your new method below main. So in our case, we want to print a logo. Like I've mentioned, the first thing that we need to write is an accessibility modifier. In our case, we know that we will be accessing this method only in this class. We don't have any other files, but I'll show you how we can utilize other um, access modifiers such as public, protected, and so on, internal. Um, in our case, it's enough to have a private method. We also know that we need it to be static. For now, just understand that static allows us to use a method without the requirement to instantiate a new class. In our case, if we made this method, let's say print hello, um, problem would be that we would not be able to call this without creating a new instance of program. By keeping it static, we pretty much allow ourselves to call this method without the need of a new object. So yeah, the second thing that we add is static, but it's just because we're not required to instantiate a new program. Then we need to indicate a return type, and then we need to specify a name. The return type in our case is void because we know that we only want to return a logo, but no value will be returned by that. Basically, it will be a process. The only thing this method will do is print out a line of code. Uh, so we won't be returning any specific thing besides executing some user interface graphical action, which is console write line. I will rename this method to print logo because that's what we need to do. You can open up your whole code by clicking the plus sign again. Go in here, and as far as I can see, we can just take this whole code, press Control X to cut it, and then we can move this whole code here. As you can see, it works pretty good right now. The only thing that we need to do after we declared everything in here, we need to call this method. I hope you understand the syntax right now. If you'll have any questions, be sure to comment them down below. I'll try to explain a bit more. But to call a method, the only thing that we need to do is just type it in like this. If it had any parameters, let's say that we wanted to get an int, which would be age, and we would like to print out this number, we can just add int any name that any name that would describe itself what you expect to get in this place. In this case, we know that we want age, and we can just print out this number. So if we go back, we can see squiggly lines in here, and what it expects if we just removed these code lines, we would see that it wants to get an int age. There is no overload that would allow us to call this method without any parameter. So we can just type in age, and if everything is all right, we should get the same results that we used to get before. So we can just write down everything that we used to, and look at that. So we have age, we have the logo. One thing you might have noticed is that uh, as we used void, we didn't have any return in here. If, let's say, we had an int here, it would give us a squiggly line because we're not returning anything. And if we wanted to return something, we had to return the same type. Like you can see, it's an int, and we declared here that it's an int. In our case, the only thing that we wanted to do is basically print out a logo. So we don't need the return type, we don't even need an input. We can just remove this, and now it should work as it has worked before. Thing is that you can do these things a lot quicker. If, let's say, we know that this information, these 5 lines, basically, they print out player menu statistics. So how we can extract a method a lot faster, because it would be very tedious to write down everything like this. There is a better way. We can just click Control dot. This will give us a good, a really useful helper, which we can use to extract a method. It usually offers you the best possible helping solutions. Sometimes there are more buttons, sometimes less. When we have squiggly lines, we can also press this helper. And now we can just click extract a method and type in print menu player menu info and press enter. Now we have a very strange method that was generated below. Um, Basically, this method was created with these parameters because we are indicating that we want to print out specific variables. I will show you in this tutorial how we can reduce these parameters, and we will be able to just access these variables without the requirement of putting them inside an argument list. But for now, just keep it like this. Or we can try that again. Control dot extract a method, print menu. Thank you for listening. In part 2, we will continue cleaning, upgrading, and refactoring the code. Hop on and let's get going with our fantastical developer journey.